Hello everyone, welcome to Automation E2E. In this video, we are going to dive into how to handle searchable dropdowns, also known as auto-suggest dropdowns. These are the ones where you type into a field and a list of matching options dynamically appear. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to handle searchable dropdowns in Selenium without using select class. You'll learn the step-by-step approach to interact with the dropdown options and how to apply these skills effectively for modern web applications. So, let's get started. Searchable dropdowns are super popular on modern websites. You have seen them in places like travel booking sites when selecting a destination or in a sign-up form when choosing your country. Instead of scrolling through a long list, you simply type part of the value and the dropdown suggests matching options. These dropdowns aren't based on select tag but are typically built with elements like input, UL, and li. They often rely on JavaScript to fetch and display options dynamically to mimic dropdowns. So let me show you an example. Let's go to cleartrip.com. In here, all these dropdowns are auto selection dropdowns or searchable dropdowns. For this tutorial, let's go to the hotels section here and let's take this example. So in the search hotels section, this particular dropdown is a very good example of searchable or auto selection dropdown. As you can see, it has certain list of options already listed here, which you can choose from. But in case you want to choose any other option other than this, you would have to search it here, and then this dropdown will dynamically search with the keyword you have provided and fetch the cities that are available. For example, let me search London. So with this keyword, it has searched for the cities and the localities, and it has fetched the result and displayed it in the options section, as you can see here. So let's use this and let's click on search. So as you can see, it is showing us hotels in London. So that is how this searchable dropdown will behave. So let's write a code to automate this type of dropdown. I'm back to IntelliJ. I've already written the code to open the cleartrip/hotels page, and we have to first get the web element of the dropdown input field where we want to search. So driver.findElement by.xpath. So let's find the XPath of this particular element. So for that, right click inspect and let's see this element. So let's first copy the XPath and then optimize it. So as you can see, it's a long XPath. So one thing you can do is this ID is there already. And if you can see, there is just one input field here. Let's eliminate the other part from here and let's do a double slash. So what does this mean is immediately after this element, which is id.next, you have to search for an input field. So this dropdown is implemented using input tag, and this double slash will take us to the immediate descendant with the input tag. So let's copy this XPath and paste it in our code, and let's do down.send keys, and we are going to send it as London. So this particular line will send the keys to that particular input field so that we can search using this keyword. So once we search, we'll get a list which will be loaded dynamically. So as this list is going to get loaded dynamically, we have to handle it using waits. If we won't do that, we will get an exception. For example, so if we add London here, and if this text is not appeared immediately, WebDriver will throw an exception. So we have to click on this first element. So let's see this element and let's copy the XPath for this one. So as you can see, it is a little complicated XPath. So instead, what we'll do is we'll use a text function that is there to find an XPath. So for that, we'll do double slash and star, and all you have to do is write text equal to, and whatever visible text is there on the UI, which is this, we want to find this England, United States. Let's add it here. So as you can see, it has uniquely found out this particular London, which has England/United Kingdoms in the list. So in this way, you can use this text function. More on this text function we'll cover in a separate tutorial. We'll link that in the I button of this video. So let's copy this XPath and let's paste it here. So this is the XPath that we need. Now we cannot simply interact with this element because this element is being loaded dynamically. So we have to use explicit wait in this case. So wait WebDriver dot explicit wait is equal to new WebDriver wait. Here we have to provide the driver and duration of seconds. Let's wait for just 5 seconds. So if you haven't seen already the video on waiting strategies in Selenium, do have a look at them to see how to use them. I have linked that in the iCard. So explicit wait dot until, and in this case, the expected condition would be visibility of element located, and let's locate it using XPath. So this is the XPath that we copied, and let's let's paste that XPath here. So this particular line would return a web element. So let's add a web element. Let's name it as option. So once this option is visible on the UI, we will click on it. All right. So this is the code to select a particular value in the dropdown. So once we select this, let's click on this particular button and let's again use the text here. So here in this case, you can see there are two elements that have this particular text on them. So first element is this, which is not of our interest. This element is implemented using h3 tag. Let's have a look at the second one. So the second one is implemented using h4 tag. So for that, instead of doing a star here, which returns all the elements that have search hotels as text, we will specify that we just need the one with h4 tag. So as you can see, it has just searched for the one element, and if I click on enter, this element is highlighted. So let's copy the XPath. This XPath is pretty straightforward, so we'll just do driver.findElements.xpath and let's add the XPath here. So we don't need any wait for this one because it's already present on the page, and once we click on search, we'll get showing hotels in London. So let's again inspect this and let's again use the text function. Control F /. Let's try for all first. Text is equal to showing hotels in London. So luckily we just have one. So let's copy this. So we'll click on this and then we'll just print out the text. Okay, so we have pasted the XPath here and we are going to print out the text using the getText method in our console. Now, the text that loads on the DOM, which is showing hotels in London, is also loaded dynamically. So we might need to add explicit wait for this as well. But for now, let's run this program and see if it works without wait. Okay, there you go. Since we haven't added any explicit wait here, we are going to get stale element reference exception. So it might be possible that it took some time loading it dynamically and it was not right away visible on the DOM. So what we're going to do is we're going to add explicit wait here as well. So for that, we'll do web element, name it as result page title is equal to, we can use the same explicit wait we created above until, and we can use the same condition by XPath, and we have written the XPath here. So instead of using this, we'll use the variable, we'll use this web element. All right, so with this we should be good. Let's run this program and see how it behaves. So the browser is launched, it has searched for London, and there you go, it's showing hotels in London and our execution was successful. So that is how you handle searchable or auto select dropdowns using Selenium. I have listed some best practices for handling searchable dropdowns. Always wait until the dropdown suggestions are fully loaded. This prevents error caused by trying to interact with elements that aren't ready. Check the structure of the dropdown in the browser to identify the tags and attributes used for options. Some dropdowns fetch data dynamically, so be prepared for adding delays. These dropdowns might seem tricky at first, but with the right approach, identifying the input, waiting for suggestions, and interacting with options, they are easy to manage. In the next video, we'll see how to handle hidden dropdowns. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you so much for watching.